Hello, my friends. Jim Gale coming to you from Galt's Landing in Central Florida, where we are 100% off grid. I'll give you a little tour. We produce all of our own food, water, and energy right here on the property. In fact, we have such a radical abundance of food. I was just walking through an area this morning and I saw this sweet potato. Isn't that thing beautiful? And look what's coming out of the top of it. You know what that is? That's more sweet potatoes. This sweet potato, I put this sweet potato in the ground, and that which is what I'm going to do here after our little talk. And that sweet potato will turn into, well, quite frankly, exponentially more sweet potatoes over time. That one sweet potato, at the very minimum, can turn into 100 pounds of sweet potatoes within probably 12 months. But not only can it produce sweet potatoes, it can produce more vines and more sweet potatoes that produce more sweet potatoes, right? So what am I saying? Is nature's abundance, God's design, is infinite in its ability to create abundance for us, my friends. What we've been living with, the systems that we've been enslaved by, are ridiculous. And the way that we overcome, triumph, prevail, win this game or war, whatever perspective you come from, it's always the same answer. If you want to win, you take the poisons out of your life, you love yourself, you heal your trauma, and you grow food instead of lawns. That sounds so ridiculously simple that a lot of people check out right there because they're like, oh, whatever. I shouldn't have to do anything. No, it's not about having to. It's about wanting to. It's about wanting to be free. I'll give you a little tour real quick here of what I mean. So currently, we live right here. The sun is going to be baking it, but you see that little house right there? Currently, we live in that house. And these houses are Airbnbs. When I walk outside my house, this is a construction zone, so it's still a mess, right? We're still literally doing construction here every day, and building other houses and stuff. But this area here, we started putting plants in the ground about 2.5 years ago, 29 months ago. And right now, this area here on 1 acre produces so much food that we have way more, way more than we can consume. In fact, I would estimate that about 90% of the food that we grow here goes right back into the soil. We probably eat about 10% of it, right? And we're also learning how to cook. You see the red plants there? Those are cranberry hibiscus. We've got Autumnoia and bananas and moringa and Jamaican cherry. And we come out this way and there's avocados and lychees and mangoes and longans. Actually, there's 260 different varieties of food producing plants. Now, this area here, again, this is a brand new area. This is our lake. You can see it's so glassy that it looks like a mirror right now. But we are on a really nice lake. It's a 430-acre lake, and we happen to have the only dock on the lake. It's surrounded by trees. It's about 40 minutes from the Orlando International Airport. And by the way, if you'd ever like to come visit, that's what we do. We invite people here to experience nature and freedom to the max, right? Again, every house is completely off the grid. We produce our own food, water, and energy here. Now, you see this little stretch right here of green? About 6, 7, 8 months ago, it was just like this. It was just mulch. And a few months before that, it was just sand, right? Like Florida sugar sand, which is supposed to be really impossible to grow in. Well, you just got to add layers, right? When you start with something, a blank canvas, and you add the right layers. And that's what we are all about. We are about adding layers to solve all of the world's biggest problems. And we will get into the strategy that will achieve that goal here in the talk. But right here, we have peaches and plums and mangoes and loquats and probably there's jaboticaba and pigeon pea. There's cassava. There's more sweet potatoes coming in on the ground. In fact, I'll take a quick walk over here. Please forgive that we might get a little staticky in the reception because it's just on the phone signal. But see this patch right here? This is cranberry hibiscus. These are so delicious. Like that. Look at that amazing plant right there. That it has the shape of cannabis, kind of, but like that. It tastes a little bit like cranberries. It's really delicious, right? And then you come over here. These are sweet potato leaves. Right? Did you know that the leaves are also edible? So now, if you want a salad, you can come over here. You can grab some moringa, some cranberry hibiscus, and some sweet potato leaves. And you can actually turn the cranberry hibiscus into a dressing. And you've got the healthiest salad you ever had in your life. And here's the kicker. This is way less maintenance than a lawn. The deception, the layers of insanity, of scam that we have fallen prey to are so just incredible. Like, how did we get deceived into growing grass and then regularly applying poisons to our yard? Poisons that, if you see the little signs, there's a little circle on there with a family, a kid, and a dog, right? And it has an X through it, like a cross out, like do not go on this land. It's been poisoned. And yet we pay for it. We pay to poison ourselves. Oh my God. So that's the bad news, right? The good news is that all we got to do is stop. All we have to do, or better said, what we really want to do to change the world and create utopia everywhere, this place like the Garden of Eden of epic abundance, is take poisons out and grow food instead of lawns, right? So let's just sit with that for a second. Like, let's play along for a sec. I think you'll find joy in this. I think this will inspire you, right? Inspires me, right? Maybe either shut your eyes or just look at this and take a few breaths, take a good, long, deep breath, and imagine that you live in a place like this. And now this could be in a city on 1/10 of an acre. This could be at your local park, right? Let's say you live in a condo or an apartment, right? This could be the surroundings of your local park, which it should be, right? This should be what all parks are like. Or this could be the landscape at your church, right? You go into your church and you take a breath and you just walk around, and the churches become demonstrators of the Garden of Eden. Like, how ridiculously logical and simple and joyful and loving and serving is that? Imagine going to your church, and your church now is part of a CSA, a community supported agriculture system, where the church itself turns all of their lawn, except for, okay, you want some lawn, right? Some lawn is good for, let's say, weddings and events and throwing the football and playing soccer and playing golf and all of these games, right? I love those games. Those games are fun to play, and we could have 10 times as many lawns that are functional, that are meant to have some type of game on them, right? That's what a lawn is for, right? Maybe you want to lay out in the backyard in your lawn, right? Great, have a lawn. But let's convert 50% of the 50 million acres of lawn here in North America. 50% of that would literally feed our entire population. The domino effect of that one logical transition, which we are achieving, by the way, like this is the idea whose time has come stronger than all of the armies of the world, is God's design, is nature, right? All wealth is derived from our natural system. This is the foundation of all health and wealth and freedom. My brave hearts, my friends. So, how do we, and I want to share one other very fundamental component here. What I'm sharing with you is not new resources, right? Are not needed to achieve this. No, it's simply using the resources that we are currently using in a better, more functional way. That's it, right? So instead of paying a company that happens to be owned and controlled by BlackRock, right? And the major poison companies all funnel up to one entity, and it happens to be called BlackRock, which is not only the name, it is the intention. By their deeds, by their fruits, you shall know them, my friends. It's very obvious. So, all we have to do is spend our money, take our money away from the systems that harm and enslave us, and then put our money into systems that free and empower us. Right? So what does that mean? To get real specific, right? This is a cassava right here. There's another one there, another one there. They're all over, right? Then this is sweet potatoes next to it. If all you did were go to your local nursery and find the perennial edibles like potatoes, cassava, depending on your zone and your location, right? And now it's September. It's coming up on a time where in the north, then it's a little late this time of year. You could still build soil. You could still get mulch and place mulch around where you want your garden beds to be in the spring, right? But if you're in Florida or anywhere that has a more temperate climate, a more moderate climate, like warmer, right? Then you get some sweet potato starts and some cassava. You stick them in the ground, right? These things grow in relatively bad soil, right? They do not need a lot of maintenance. In fact, we put a sweet potato patch at the beginning of our property on the outside of our property, and we're inviting all of the neighbors to come and grab their own sweet potato starts. And we've already given away so many. Like we have hundreds of people, and very soon it'll be thousands of people in our community that are now growing sweet potatoes, because I think it's going to be the foundation of, there's going to be a lot of problems here in the near future for people who aren't prepared, for people who don't have access to food, water, and energy and community, right? So anyway, go and just stick the sweet potatoes and the cassava in the corner of your yard. In fact, I've got some friends who are going up and down along the highways and the parks and even at food banks, and they're planting plants, edibles like this, in areas in nature that don't get mowed or poisoned, right? They're simply putting these food systems in the ground all over the place. This is guerrilla gardening. And it's also a tactic, let's just say, of war, right? When Henry Kissinger said, if you want to control people, control food, this is a tactic of war. And that's what we are experiencing. right? In fact, I just heard this morning that NATO just sent bombs into Russia to blow up some weapons manufacturing facilities. Now, NATO is the United States. NATO is the group that is against Russia and the BRICS. So we are already in World War III. Some people say it's World War IV, whatever. You know, and I want to reframe something. Supposedly, Einstein said, I know not what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Now, the implication of that, right, the inference is that we're going to destroy everything so bad that all technology, everything's going to be erased. But I have a reframe for that. No, that's not going to happen that way. The reason why World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones in hundreds or thousands of years from now is because we are waking up, and we will not have the need for war machines. Humanity is raising in consciousness. It's written in the stars, my friend. This is spiritual, it's biblical, it's scientific, it's logical that humanity is coming to a point in our evolution, in our growth, in our spiritual awareness, where we are seeing that it's much better to love and serve each other. Now, of course, there's many that are still holding on to the war, the military industrial complex. There are many that are still fighting that fight, and many still believe in that fight. You and I don't. You and I know that there is a better way. In fact, I'd like to ask you all, for those of you who are interested, we are putting together a program right now. It's a document in collaboration with some of the biggest influencers in the world, right? And I mean, if you name two of the biggest influencers in the world right now, you probably have them, right? I cannot quite say their names yet because we want this strategy to be kind of under the table until it's not, right? Now, what I would like, well, first I'll share the strategy. We are working with these major influencers, and we'll have a document ready in about 2.5, 3 weeks that lays out how we integrate and collaborate with the churches, the schools, the HOAs, the military bases around the world. Imagine military bases being like this. And imagine with 5% of the war budget, we can feed the whole world in less than 2 years. That's how powerful nature is. That's how powerful this idea is. Right? This is frankly not a new idea, right? This is the oldest idea in the book, right? The deception started in this place, according to the book, right? I'm talking about the Bible. And other faiths have a similar story, right? And I invite all of them. This is elevated above the divide and conquer narrative of faiths, where my faith is right and yours is wrong. And it pisses me off so much that you are so wrong that I'm willing to kill you. Oh my God, my friends. Right? We have been deceived at so many levels. And the answer to that deception is presence, is love, is service, and is stewardship of our land. It's taking the poisons out and doing what's right, creating a diversity of life-giving systems. And this diversity will change everything. Cancer, diabetes, and heart disease do not exist at this frequency, at this vibration, with this energetic field. This, what you're witnessing here, is the ultimate free energy system. We could walk away from this food forest right now, this baby food forest. We could walk away from this and come back in 30 years and we wouldn't be able to see the lake. In fact, this food forest would spread for hundreds of miles, maybe even thousands of miles. How is that possible, you might ask? Well, it's very simple. Every one of these plums and mangoes and raspberries and blueberries and blackberries and mulberries and elderberries, every one of these plants produce offspring. Many have seeds. When an animal eats one of these plants, a bird might eat a blueberry or a blackberry or a mulberry here. In fact, there's raspberries and blackberries all along the fence there. Might fly over to the other side of the lake and poop. And what do we have? What's in that poop? Life packed in a nutrient capsule. Right? It's perfect. Nature is perfect, my friends. Right? So we integrate the schools, the churches, the prisons. I'm not sure if you heard, but a few weeks back, I was in Tennessee with Andre Norman and Second Chance University, which is the largest university in the world with over 650,000 inmates already enrolled. And we are assisting Second Chance University, which is a brand new concept, and it's already the biggest university in the world. Well, we went into this prison, which was, by the way, the toughest prison in the state of Tennessee. And we went in the toughest block of the toughest prison, where there was, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 rooms, maybe 60 or 70 rooms, each with 2 inmates. They opened up all the doors, and we were shaking hands with and hugging and crying with these inmates. Many of them lifers. Many of them committed the most heinous crimes. And everyone I talked with, which was, I spoke directly in the whole day. We were there like 9 hours with 50 or 60 different inmates. Every single one that I spoke with wanted help. They wanted solutions. They wanted to heal. Every single one of them. Now, of course, there were some in there that didn't come out of their rooms. There were some in there that were so traumatized that they stayed hidden because the light scared them too much. It's time to shine a light on our traumas, my friends. And guess what? We have our network, the Bravehearts, Dr. Wolf, and all of the people that are in our network. We have the solutions to heal trauma. We have programs that have been implemented and proven that have resulted in a 90% reduction in recidivism. 90%. That one program, which heals trauma, is the end of the majority of crime. It worked so well that the prison industrial complex said no more. At some point, and it's happening now, the people who uphold these wicked systems are starting to realize that they are going to destroy the world, and they love their kids. They love their grandkids. So if you know any of these people, please send them this video. This elevates. So what are we doing? We are creating programs where we help them heal, which is number one, because trauma is the root cause of all human suffering. Then we, at the same time as they're healing their trauma, we're teaching them how to steward the land and how to become part of the most incredible opportunity in the history of the world. And that is to build utopia. That is to build a place of radical abundance. And my friends, even when I say utopia, I recognize the psyop that has been created around that, right? Utopia is a silly fantasy. Utopia is impossible. Utopia is not possible. Well, utopia is not only possible, it is an urgent necessity. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, this makes me feel so bad. This bird, I don't know if you heard that. This bird just hit the window. It's the first time that we've seen this happen, that I've seen this happen here. Oh my gosh. Now, this bird hit really hard, and I'm going to love it. Its mouth is bleeding. I'm pretty sure this one's a goner. Ah, that makes me feel so sad. I've never seen birds laying here, so I'm hoping this is a once in a random event. I'm just going to be at peace for a second. Help me send love to this little creature as it probably transitions. Come on, you. It's okay. You can let it go. Yep. You can let it go or you can come back. Yeah. Yeah, it hit really hard and there's blood coming out of its mouth. Look at that poor creature. It's okay. You're at peace. You can go back. Go back to the source, my friend. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Come on, you. Come on, you. Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, my friends, we are all about looking for solutions. And right now, I'm going to hit that window right there. See that window? There. So what I'm going to do is hang. I've seen different things to hang there, like, even just a little thing that waves in the wind or a little sticker. I'm going to get a sticker for these windows. Yeah, there she goes. She's gone. She's gone. Well, back in, we'll compost this bird, and this bird will feed our food forest, right? The energy from this amazing creature will go into the soil and it will help build life again, right? So, well, that was a Lily, Lily, come here, girl, come here, Lily, come here, Lily, come here, Lily, come here. So, my friends, we have it. Oh, so back to our strategy. If you would like to be part of this solution, helping to simply create awareness. So this is what we are doing that has infinite ability to win the war. All right. And back to the real quick to the prisons, and then I'll get to the next step. So we are creating programs with Second Chance University. Come on, Lily. No, no. And these programs will help the inmates heal, and they will help the inmates learn the most important skill that we can learn: how to be self-reliant, how to work with our natural system, and how to build these systems. And then on early work release, we are transitioning these inmates who have healed their trauma and graduated from Second Chance University, and we can do this fast. And we are transitioning them into the field, into the farms. And year one, they will be able to produce enough food by the end of year one to be 100% food self-reliant. By the end of year two, they will create a massive surplus for their community. Lily, no, girl. Oh, they will create a massive surplus for their communities. By the end of year 3, they will have inspired and empowered hundreds, if not thousands of people in their own communities to grow their own food. By the end of year 4, they have earned, by the creation of massive value for their community, they have earned their own homestead, their own completely off-grid food, water, and energy producing homestead. They are free. We are working with Emmy Award winners and incredible people from all different areas. We have the Earth Council, right? The Council of 12, which Dr. Wolf is on the Earth Council, and many others. And we have all of the solutions. And we are working with these inmates to transition them. So all of a sudden, the inmates go from a liability, right? The biggest liability, one of the biggest on the balance sheet of society, to an asset. And just to get into some numbers to show you how feasible and logical this is, right? So there's already 650,000 people in in Second Chance University. 650,000 inmates. 20% of them we can graduate by spring and get them into the farms, into the fields, helping to set up these systems. That's 130,000 people in teams of 3, where each one has a skill set that they've mastered through their classes. One will be communicating with the local community. One might be taking care of the food crops. One might be water and energy. And when you put those in teams of 3, 130,000 divided by 3 is 43,333. That's new regenerative agriculture farms in a very short amount of time. Within a year and a half, this is going to be they're going to be revolutionizing and changing the food system. And well before that, and this is the next layer of the strategy, we will have documents out that are spread by the biggest influencers in our world that will lead to the taking out of poisons. That's step 1, is take out the poisons. Right? Fear, by the way, is one of the ultimate poisons. So turn off the news, right? Because that's what that's meant to do. It's meant to create scarcity in your mind, right? And then we're going to integrate and we're going to connect these inmates. It's interesting. Since that happened with the pigeon, I feel like just a tiny bit disconcerted. But here I am, taking a breath. So we then create local CSAs, community supported agricultures, cooperatives, and the churches, the schools, the veterans groups, the police force, and all of the HOA groups, all these different groups, they invest in their own food supply, right? They invest in local, regenerative, poison-free food. And we compost the fiat, right? The US dollar is a fiat currency, and it's in rapid decay. The price of food is going up like this. Fiat is going down like this. And that is all by design, so they can bring in a new digital currency that is complete totalitarian control. This is freedom. So we compost the fiat by investing it in our own local poison-free food supply chain, which is the smartest investment we could ever make. When we do this at scale, integrating and collaborating, following Dr. Martin Luther King's advice when he said, those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war, that's what we're doing. with you. You are key to this. You, the person sitting there thinking, I can't do nothing about this. Yes, you can. It's your duty. And it's awesome. And it's joyful. Do you want to be part of the winning team? The team that ushers in a new reality and brings peace again to this planet? Of course you do. Because it's fun. The most selfish thing you could ever do is serve and create value. Love yourself, love your friends, and do good things for people, do good things for our land. So we are inviting you, and there's so many more. I could literally talk for hours on the different strategies and layers that we have implemented. So if you would like to be part of this, we have a document coming out that will be shared. It will go viral, and I like to say antiviral, but it will spread like the most beneficial virus ever, because it lays out in clear detail, much better than I just did now, how we triumph, how we win this incredible situation and overcome, and how we serve, and how we integrate and collaborate. And I'll leave you with this. Buckminster Fuller, he said, you cannot change things by fighting the existing reality. We're not here to fight. Our sedition from this system, this matrix, is a peaceful process. It's a process of demonstrating love and service and abundance at scale. So you cannot fight, change things by fighting. Instead, you build a new model. Utopia is the new model. Paradise. Abundance destroys scarcity. Scarcity creates fear, which is the catalyst for recruitment for war. Let's change the world, my friends. Love, and have a great day.